We're not going to do it just
Hey
yet.
Denton,
right?
good to see you. Hey Kate, nice to see your,
Caden Denton,
yeah, nice to see your
Punks.
members.
Ready?
we're ready. We're going to go over right of way fencing.
All right, so we're going to talk about the first bout, which is right of way, and then we're going to do a walkthrough. In right of way, you have the first person who moves and properly arms, just do a movement, just a slow movement towards the person.
No,
properly
it's not gonna
armed,
take it.
has the offense, okay? He has the right of way. He's moved in towards the other fighter. He's properly armed. Arming is getting the point of his blade behind his center point. And you can do that in a number of ways. Demonstrate a couple different ways you can do it. So, over that way, behind your back, over that way.
As long as the point of
take
his
it to the
blade
side,
gets behind his body.
take it to the side,
There you
right?
go.
And just as long as he gets it, that's a proper arming, all right? Now, since he has the right of way, it is up to him to have offense, it is up to the other fighter to be on defense. That's why we like the system. This is based on the ASL, FFE, French system here in the United States, TPLA. I'll give a shout out to those guys, are the ones trying to bring it to the United States. Their arming system is a little bit different, their scoring system is a little bit different, but it's similar enough that if our guys had to do the French system, if that became the worldwide system, we could move from that.
It's very
All right,
interchangeable.
So once again, he has the right of way, he goes to make an attack, he has to defend. He is a proper block. Once he has a proper block or he evades, he now has the right of way, all right? He is now on defense. So he backs away a little bit on defense, he properly arms, he comes back, he blocks. He's got a proper block. Now you're gonna do an evasion. So now he has the right of way over here. He comes back for the attack, all right, and he misses. So now that's an evasion. He has the proper way. He goes ahead and arms, and he
Very
attacks.
good.
All right, so that is right away in a simple thing. Now, here is why I like right away. Because you have the right of way on offense, and you don't have to worry about a counterattack on your way in, you can be creative and do different things. So we're fighting lightsabers. We're not fighting Olympic-style weapons. We're not fighting HEMA. We are not fighting Kendo. We're fighting lightsabers. That's where this comes. So if we're going to fight lightsabers, let's do a different new style of fencing. So now we're going to be creative. He's going to be on offense, and he is going to be creative, and you're going to do sort of a circle and head towards it. So properly armed.
Do the Sith one that you used to do.
All right, so he properly arms. Boom.
Very
Okay,
good.
he had the right of way. He had the block. He had the defense. He has the right of way. Now go ahead and make an attack and do a circle. Full circle on the guy. Boom.
Very good.
All right. He
See?
blocks. He has the right of way. He's back on defense. Now do a jump. Yeah, jump. Just leap like I would.
Very
All right,
good.
Block, right? All right, so he got blocked. He now has the right of way. Come in. All right, go ahead. All right.
Now
good
do a
enough.
fake. You want to
Okay.
show him a fake?
Yes. Let me just explain something about
Sure.
the right of way. Okay, when you properly arm, okay, so this is some of the specific kinds of things we've learned while doing this rule set. You can't, man, you can't arm from here, walk up towards your opponent, all right? Can't do it. You have to arm and in one continuous motion here. Now, you can do, so long as you're moving forward, you can change the direction of the saber so that you're doing something else. All right? You can change the motion. So it allows you to be creative. But the idea is we're fencing lightsabers, and we want long, sweeping
We want to
motions
be able to flourish.
that are fun to watch for the
Yeah.
audience. No
Yeah.
more just hit, point score,
Yeah.
get a score. All right?
It's
Now,
fun for us and fun for the audience. It's more accessible, you know.
And as the action goes on, go ahead and hit him in the helmet. Hit him in the helmet. Okay, the referee's job at this point is break,
Yep.
green, 2, and it's recorded by our scorekeeper over there. All right? All right, come on up now. Attack from way out there. And this is one of the disadvantages. So he arms, go ahead. Okay, so he is armed from way over here. Now, there's no way that he can bring that around properly armed and then attack. So this is one of those things that's gonna be a call. If you're attacking from outside, basically a distance from around this distance, about, I don't know, 10 foot or so, then he's allowed to go ahead and arm. You can't attack from way out there and then run at the guy armed. So you can't do that.
Right.
So yeah, those are some of the things that you guys that will ever use the system will have to.
Do you want to hand me those blades? And
Yeah. One thing, let me talk about this blade for a second.
it looked like it was getting in your way.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry.
one thing we do a little bit different as well, and is if you look at their blades, we've already talked about the Lightspeed blade, and we already talked about the heavy blades used by most of the leagues. We decided to go with a 7/8 inch blade, which is the blade in between. Not as whippy. We went with a light blade, and the reason we went with a light blade that's 40 inches across is because it allows you to fence two-handed. It allows you to fence one-handed. It's long. It looks like what a lightsaber blade should go.
It kind of looks like the Star Wars Rebels blades, how they were a lot thinner, you know what I mean?
Exactly. But because we went with 7/8 and because the standard is 1 inch sabers here, Trey had to build an adapter. So like Lightspeed, Trey has built, tell them about your adapter.
So all it is heat shrink. It's electrical heat shrink for wires and stuff like that, but it's the journeyman grade heat shrink. And all it has to be is 1/8 of an inch to fit the inner diameter of a 1 inch blade. So I think it's 3 pieces. So I heat shrink one, and then I put another one over it, heat shrink it, and then one more and heat shrink it, and it's the perfect size. But the best part about it is it's just rubber. It's just rubber. So if it breaks or something, it's so easily replaceable. We don't ever have broken blades anymore. And the tips, you want to tell them what we do with the tips?
So with the tips, we buy these from Custom Saber Shop. The tips we use an acrylic, and then we put just regular transparent tape over it. If you're hitting too hard, boom, the tip will come off.
We don't break
Even
blades.
with the tape on it. You don't break the blade, you break the tip. But it's also a warning sign that you have hit too hard. Because this is a soft strike, you don't need to do it.
We don't
You
want to
need
hurt
be
our
creative.
friends.
You have to show timing, you have to show technical expertise, but you don't have to hit hard anymore. So this blade allows you to do a proper block. Go ahead and do a strike, and then do a proper block. All right? So if you can see, there's not that bendy, whippy kind of thing. You do a proper block, come on back, and then you do a block. All right? And now do it two-handed. And two-handed.
You went through.
And now one-handed. One hand inside.
Oh.
All right? So long
Josh
blades.
got 1 point.
Elegant blades allow you to wield two-handed and one-handed. The arming process lends itself to both. All right.
They're lighter than TSL blades too, so it cuts out some wrist fatigue.
Okay. So Nick, who's holding on to the Facebook Live.
I got him on my camera.
Yeah, Nick, you were really into the heavy blades. What do you think when we went to this? And you can be honest about it.
Which do you prefer?
They are much more elegant and cinematic in the approach and feel. So the style that you can express when you're practicing is far greater than the TSL, which is much more sharp and practical.
Beautifully put, sir.
Right. So now with me are my, Tully, come on up. So with me, come on, Daniel. So with me are my students that have been with me for quite a while and have made the journey from Lightspeed to Saber Legion, which we still do kind of both. We're
Yeah.
still a base.
Always.
To this. So what do you think of the new style?
Start with Mr. Daniel here on the end. What do you think of the new style, Mr. Dan?
Just go ahead, just tell them what you think.
I don't get injured as much or as much fatigue on my wrist.
There you go, bud. That's perfect answer. About
And
Mr.
then,
Webb?
Nick,
I don't get as injured as much, and it's a lot more fun to use.
Yeah, I agree. Mr.
Tully?
Tully?
Same thing as those.
Yeah, it seems to be the general consensus.
and then go ahead, Nick. Josh.
Yeah.
Josh has been with us probably the longest, I
Yeah,
think.
probably since the beginning.
So,
Close to the beginning.
like these guys said, but just to elaborate that on a little bit more, it's not just a case of wrist fatigue, it's just more like everything fatigue.
Yeah.
You'll go to lift one of those TSL blades, and it's not that heavy as long as you have some kind of decent amount of strength. And then, but training for 3 hours every week with it will wear you out.
Yeah.
a lot
So you think
more
we
than
get
it
to
needs
go a lot
be.
more training with these than we would with TSL blades?
Yes.
Is that what you mean? I got you.
And not only can you do a lot more training with these, but as you get tired out, you can still maintain your form.
There you go. That's perfect, Josh.
So the
That was
biggest from an
perfect.
instructor point of view is the safety. So we've trained for a long time, but everybody would walk out with bruises because accidents happen. We try to go control. It's tough when you have us
Teenage boys.
us to not want to go a little bit harder, and when you're doing it with heavy 1-inch blades in a school setting,
Right.
not in a competition setting, then somebody's going to get cracked in the knee, somebody's going to get that gap somewhere. Not as
Chest.
safe. There's a liability issue with light speed. Again, athleticism makes a giant difference. If you've ever seen Kang Snow, the founder of Lightspeed, the guy he's shorter than I am, and he's incredibly fast. But even he has a hard time against a guy who's 6 foot, 2,
Right.
6'3" or
reach.
greater because of reach and because of the speed of it. So those don't work. With this, with the right of way, this gives you an opportunity to be creative. You don't have to be super athletic, but yet it is wearing at the same time. We're going to stop at this point. We're going to go over the melee portion, and then we'll do a match after that.